Alright folks, welcome back to Glory Hunter with me, DoctorBenjyFM. Good to see you. Are you well? Are you really well? Are you just normal well? I'm just normal well, but I feel like I could get really well by the end of this. I made it weird, didn't I? It wasn't even that weird, and then I managed to make it weird. Yeah, sorry everyone. Now, as you can see, some good news straight off the bat. We are 8 points clear of 8th position in 7th in the EC2. It sounds scientific, doesn't it? And today, as you can see, with 2 games to go, things are very, very interesting, very, very exciting. As there's ourselves, Marseille, Nancy, and if things go extraordinarily well, viewers, I'm thinking winning both games 8-0. There's a chance we can get into the Champions League. Don't stop me from dreaming. So as I mentioned, I would play through the games, and if anything sort of develops that was going to be really, really exciting, then I would do, of course, winning the EC2, not on my list of trophies to win. The Europa League, of course, has been knocked off with Valencia, but you can see since our last games against Rennes and Auxerre, VAFC was a 1-0 victory. Lens was a 0-0. Clean sheets, lots of clean sheets, but at the same time, some wins. Marseille beat me 3-0. Saint Etienne was a 0-0. Lyon was a 1-1, which is actually a pretty good result, really, at home against them. Nantes and Montpellier, 2 wins on the bounce, a 1-0 and a 2-0. Before we play Paris Saint-Germain, that side that just can't get the better of me, and then Angers after that as well. They've really fallen off. That's sort of the story of this part of the season. They've lost so many games this year, comparatively to ourselves. We've only lost a couple of games this year in the League 2, in fact. So yeah, it's looked really, really good for us. The fact we've not gone through in the French Cup is still very frustrating, viewers, I must be said. But yeah, where are we going to finish? Are we going to get a little bit higher up, a little bit more money, of course, being able to attract slightly better players? Let's hope so. Right, let's get into this game now. Paris Saint-Germain, it's today, and the league, as I say, is very, very closely contested. It could all be over after this game against PSG if I get beaten, but you never know. Magical things do happen here. Now, in recent games, we've actually been dealing with quite a lot of team issues. Transfers have not taken place. But no, an injury to Gordy has meant that he's not been able to play for the last couple of games and probably won't feature again this season due to a lack of fitness. So we've had to play Mikel Torreira playing slightly behind Vanov, but playing in that role, in the deep lying forward role. Teixeira's obviously come in behind him. Bernard, Yanchev and Lopez have kept their spots and they're playing really, really well together. And then Gomez had to come in at the back as well. I say injuries to Diallo caused this, and that's not ideal either. So we have had to do a little bit of mix and matching. The fullbacks have been suspended. Yellow cards have been catching up a little bit. But yeah, going into this one, I'm still relatively confident, even though Mikel Torreira can't play this role naturally. He's still good in that role, as you'd probably imagine. Turns out dribbling on this game makes you very good, so that's handy. All right then, Paris Saint-Germain. Nice's record against Paris Saint-Germain, not particularly good, but if we take a look at our games against them this season, we've played them twice, we've beaten them twice. Can we beat them again, this time away from home? It's worth noting as well, I mentioned our tussle. There's a tussle at the top between them and Lyon. The title will go to one of them, and we can have a big say on that today. Should be exciting. So Ligue 1, got lots going on today. This is going to be exciting. Where are we going to finish? We're about to find out. So we know something exciting is about to happen for us. We just don't know what it's going to be. They're playing a 4-2-3-1. I've never seen them play this. They've always played a 4-4-2. I'm far more terrified of this. Teixeira needs to have one hell of a game. He's going to have a little bit of space between Crystal and Para, neither of which are defensive midfielders in my opinion. So I love the fact I've got the knowledge of that. That's where he's going to have to try and work his magic, as is Mikel Torreira. And on counter-attacks especially, that's where I see us having an impact. All right, big games. I was going to go to 2D, but we're going to stick with 3D for these ones as let's see how they go. Of course, we know what to expect here. You've seen it in quite a few episodes now. We're quite a boring side. But I've got to say, the transfer window coming up, no matter how much money you've got to spend, and our balance has gone down slowly over the course of the year. That's the problem of being Nice and not being one of the big powerhouses with a bit of a bigger stadium, bigger budgets, bigger sponsorships as well, of course. It's going to be curious to see how I can improve this team and build upon what I've already built here going into next season. That's going to be really interesting, as Ivanov there has volleyed the ball out for another corner on the other side. As Paris Saint-Germain having their first chances in the game, of course, they know, really, they have to win if they're going to be in the contention for this title. If Lyon do the business in their game, it puts a lot of pressure on PSG in that last game when it's maybe out of their hands. As here we go. Yanchev, corner kick. We know how much problems we've caused them as it's dropped down. Shot on goal, it's gone in! Then Goma scores! Paris Saint-Germain do not know what to do against us, and I love it. We are in their heads, viewers. And how does that affect the league table? We'll see as it updates in just a moment. The corner's played in by Yanchev. Is it flicked on at the front post? It sort of just drops. The defender doesn't react. Mikel Torreira bundles it towards Ngoma, who scores his 3rd goal of the season. And we lead, look at that league table, into 5th, viewers. This is getting ridiculous. Nice could be 5th. Obviously, a long way to go yet, though. And Paris Saint-Germain, well, I don't think they'll have been done in this game just yet. The ball's played in towards that back post, cleared away, and this is where I think we're dangerous. Counter-attacks, Mikel Torreira, ball carrier, but that's a fantastic ball to Ivanov, who can make it 2 already. Oh, dearie me, Menga makes a decent save, as I think it might have been offside anyway, but you can just see that's where we are so dangerous with those creative players looking for those passes into the penalty area, and here we go again. Look, PSG committing a lot of players, and suddenly we can spring on this. Our fullbacks are getting forward, the midfield racing forward, and the space is opening up all over the place. Paris Saint-Germain at 6s and 7s viewers. Ball played in. I think it was probably offside, although it wasn't offside, so it's a big miss by Teixeira. Goodness gracious me, viewers. At half-time, 1-0, and we've seen better chances from us than we have Paris so far. It's been really impressive. Like, we drew with Lyon recently, and of course, if they'd have beaten us, you think where they would be in the league table right now. We're doing them a huge favour here, and you've got to say, actually, Lyon have only lost 3 games this season. They arguably deserve to win this. Paris Saint-Germain not done, and what did he? Oh my God, I thought, viewers. Does he save the first one, or does it hit the post? Because I mean, they've been given the goal there. I feel like we've kicked it against our own defence. I could be wrong. Let's see it again, as it's a little bit slowed down. The first shot goes in. What a save, as we then Bernard kicks it off his shoulder, and they celebrate like he scored a 40-yard screamer. Paris Saint-Germain now, they've got a little bit of luck, but again, you can see us trying to pounce on the counter-attack as Ivanov gets past his first man, and he's got to beat another. He shoots from there. I don't know why, viewers. What is Chanel Plus again? Love Chanel Plus. People pointing out, by the way, I said, I can't believe they're just called Chanel Plus. People pointed out that Channel 4 and Channel 5 exist in the UK, as, I mean, it's another brilliant save. I tell you what, Dodos is having a fantastic game. Yeah, Channel 4 and 5 do. That's a good point. It's a good point. Ball played in again, though, cleared away, and again, you can just see we're really, their second balls from clearances are absolutely key, as Para takes his time. We know how much quality's in this side. McChrystal racing on a goal. I think the keeper got a touch. I think he got a touch. It's behind again, and the way things are now, look, winning the game puts us right in the conversation, but drawing it doesn't really change too much going into that final game, of course, against Angers. And it looks like the way it's going, PSG are getting on top a little bit here, but the problem I've got really is the players on the bench for us aren't particularly game-changing. That's something going into next season I'm certainly going to think about more. I'm going to make a change there. We mentioned it recently. Maybe Abe to come on here, and we move Mikel Torreira slightly further back. It's something I didn't do in the cup, and I kind of wanted to do. We have the opportunity to do it here, so let's. Like Pellegrini, looking back now, Pellegrini was one of those players that I brought in thinking, if I need a bit of experience later on in the season, he's going to be the guy. But fitness-wise, in terms of like his physical attributes, he's not really at the races. That said, I mean, there's not long left to go, and I could jinx this, viewers, but we might go unbeaten against PSG this season, playing them 3 times. The game's ticking away here. I mean, there's part of me that thinks we've got nothing to lose. We should maybe go for it. But a point here, and the final day still means something. Paris Saint-Germain 1, OGC Nice 1, sorry, not nil. And going with our goal, Ferreira, very fortunate with theirs. We're a bit unlucky. Do you know what I mean? We're a bit unlucky. You were unlucky tonight, boys. The clearance from Bernard, I mean, if he had it 100 more times, he'd have played it out wide, I imagine. But there we are. Interesting. As my hair, viewers, you're right, is getting wilder and wilder. It's just sort of growing. It's just sort of just living now. It's its own thing. All right, Lyon won their game. So us holding PSG actually was a big deal. It changes things at the top going into the final game of the season. Of course, we'll cover that in just a minute then. A week to go. And how's our situation? We're still in 7th. We can still catch Nantes. We can still catch Marseille if they lose their final game. And we'll see who we're playing. Well, we know who we're playing, who they're playing in just a moment. A week to go, viewers. Hopefully no injuries. And again, we're really playing for position. The money in Ligue 1 is not particularly good. I'll show you that as well just now. But guaranteed 7th, guaranteed Europe next season. So that's something, but is it a competition that's going to get in the way of our ultimate goal of winning the league? I don't think that's going to happen next year, so this is probably a good thing. So I mentioned Ligue 1 here, you can see it in terms of the money that's been offered. We're getting 8.67 at this point, so it's about 1.3 million more for every place that you finish, something like that. And yeah, if you can finish 5th, which again, unlikely, but even 6th, that's a little bit more money, 10 million in the bank. Our finance is currently 5.4 million. Nice are a club, you can see it, there's a theme every single year. They lose money because we sold well. We're going to stay in the positive this year, and we'll probably have some more money to spend in the summer. That was like some long-term planning from me, really. The transfer budget of 22 million. I didn't really plan on spending it. I planned on making the club stable by selling some assets that I just didn't think were necessarily useful for the team, and it's not really affected the playing squad. So I got that pretty spot on. Give myself some credit there, Ben. I mean, wow. I mean, are you getting better at the game this year? Comments suggest so. For anyone who's watching the streamers at the moment, though, with Boston, you'll know that I'm very much a financial manager at the moment and not really focusing too much on winning stuff. It's trying to keep things stable to give yourself a platform to perform. And I'm doing that as well here with Nice. It's really good fun. You might have seen it there as well. I'm trying to get a low back from Inter. They're not really having it. If we get some money to spend, I would try and buy him. He's been brilliant for me this season. I'd love to have him back. Dodds there. Conceded a goal. Still got in team of the week with a 7.5 average rating. Made some amazing saves. The summer transfer window is going to be so interesting. I'm really excited for it. Of course, one thing we've not really mentioned yet is that if a big job becomes available in France, what do I do? And that could well be the next video. If that happens at the end of the season and something develops and someone gets sacked and maybe I'm offered the job or it's just a job that I should consider going for, what will I do? Because I'm not going to lie, here at Nice, I'm actually really enjoying the process. I think that's obvious to you, right? I'm really enjoying the process. So that would be a really big decision. And I don't know what I'd do. It would depend who it was. It would depend on the circumstances, the budgets, everything. Personnel. Oh, man. Not really thought about it until right now. I think Leon here, by the way, I think I just saw it there, played Monaco, which is a pretty tough final game for them. As right, let's take a look then, as we're getting very, very close. It's match day as we get towards the kickoff time. Let's take a look. Who does everyone else play then? So in terms of us, Nancy play away at Guingamp, who we know caused us problems. So that's a pretty tough game for them, actually. Marseille away at Reims. I'm, again, not too sure if that's good or bad for them. Other sides in the top half, of course, keep an eye on what Lyon do and what PSG do. PSG play Nims, who seems to have just about survived. Lens and Saint Etienne battling out for that final safety spot. That's not what it's called, Ben. It's not called safety spot, but it'll be interesting to see how it all goes down. And of course, we are still playing for something. If I can avoid being in this little EC2 thing, I would love to be in the Europa League. It just gives you that little bit more money coming in at the end of the season. Yeah, being in Europe, though, is a big positive for us. All right, team-wise, he's not too far off being back, and it might be his final game for me. So there's a very big temptation just to play him anyway. Mikel Tony to come back in. I wasn't going to do it, but the more I think about it, the more I think it makes sense. He might not play the whole game, but let's at least give him the chance. All right, the rest of the side is going to remain exactly the same. Diallo still injured and can't feature. So here we go then. Can we do the business? Can we rise up that table? Let's find out. I just love it. I can't keep saying it, but I really do. Right, Diamond. Todorovic to play up front for them. A name that I feel like I am actually familiar with. Serbian 32-year-old. I think I've got a player with that exact name as well in the Boston save I mentioned before on stream. But yeah, interesting. Playing the same system that PSG did, and we seem to handle it okay. A win here, and we give ourselves a chance at the Europa League away from home. I already know what sort of game it's going to be. It's going to be, well, I know what game I think it's going to be. Can we do it? Got to keep a close eye on what happens elsewhere. We're not so bothered about the bottom, so we'll raise this a little bit and bring in the latest scores that, of course, are also on screen there. You can see them. And before this quarter's played in, I just want to have everything prepared and set and ready so we can keep an eye on what goes on elsewhere. This is going to be a fun final day, I think. I've got to try and remember the badges. As Yanchev puts a corner in, it's flicked in. Oh, Lucas, great header. Yanchev's corner, Lucas at the front post, and we take an early lead. Beautiful stuff. 4 minutes gone, and now with the way that we play, this is going to be very annoying for them. You can see from a slightly raised angle, Yanchev's ball in. Lucas, not even for his goal scoring, third of the season though, and heads it into that far corner. Really great work from the boys. Those front post corners have been really effective for us actually this season. Really, really good. Uvarenko scored a couple from that exact same situation. You can see the way things are going here though, in terms of the results around me. The teams are winning. Oh yeah, Nancy are beating Guingamp at the moment. Marseille, again, a team that's going to be very difficult to catch unless they lose their game. Even then, it's going to be pretty unlikely. It's what happens at Guingamp. That's going to matter most. Of course, we've got to win our game here too, as we're seeing a little bit of Anger's possession. They've got a really good team, Angers. They've spent quite a lot of money in the last few years, and they've got some really, really talented players too. As that challenge, viewers, is he going over to the screen? Oh God. Okay, fine. Penalty. It's always a penalty. It wasn't a penalty, by the way. I don't know what he was looking at. It's not like he didn't get the ball there. He kicked it into the player. Anyway, Dodds here was in for Team of the Week. Can he save the penalty? He can't. And now that puts us back at square one, really. And we've got to win if we're going to make something happen. It's just annoying, viewers, if I'm honest. It's just really annoying. I thought this was going to be a relatively boring game. 20 minutes gone so far, and already we've had 2 goals. As we're on it again, Mikel Torreira, lovely ball to Lucas, who scored the first goal, remember. Shot goes in, goodness me, great save from the goalkeeper, and turns it behind for a corner. Flipping heck, what an effort that was, but what a save as well. Janchev again, corners we played in. Lucas, we know he'll be near that front post. They look for him again, and Lucas this time tips over by the keeper. These front post corners, they're doing all right. They're doing the business. 19 minutes gone again. Janchev, ball in towards Lucas again, this time flicked away. And if I know anything about corners on Football Manager, that probably there is going to be the end. That's what happens at Guingamp, really. Lyon not winning their game. PSG winning theirs. So PSG currently going to the top of the table at the bottom. We're seeing Bordeaux rise above Saint Etienne, who are losing. Lens doing the business in their game as well. As it's all kicking off, viewers, as Nancy again have won another game. I say not another game, so we scored another goal. So if we're going to have any chance, we still have to do our bit, still have to win our game and put ourselves on 64 points. But the way things are going right now, the EC2 looks like our destination. As Janchev looks to get beyond his man, cuts it back though instead, finds Lopez, and now the patience of him is going to be important. He finds Janchev again, who comes deep to get the ball. Lovely movement from him. Lucas gets challenged twice, but still manages to keep the ball. Now, can he put a cross in? Please do put a cross in. Pulls it back to Janchev, who we know's delivery is usually pretty good. Ivanov's there, heads it down. I think it's onside. It's not onside. It's not going to count, viewers. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. So far, I've had a penalty that I don't really think was a penalty. And now we've just drifted offside. And Ivanov is denied another goal this season. All right, just before half-time, a little bit of Anger's possession. As that ball on the left-hand side, we just sort of let happen and don't get nearly close enough to defend it. It goes to the edge of the box. The shot comes in off the bar and cleared away by Lucas. Goodness me, that was a bit scary, as Lyon's still being held at Monaco. And PSG doing the business as well. 3-0, I think, for them now. Here, 1-1. It's not over yet. I'm pleased with how things are going. I shouldn't have said that, obviously. I could have maybe tried to turn that team talk round, but I've made my bed there and I'm going to lie in it. They clear it away, and we've got a chance to come back into the game. Can we get a win? I'm just thinking, I say a winner, can we get a lead at least and maybe put a little bit of pressure? We need Guingamp. That's the problem. If they don't do something in their game, if they don't knock a couple of points off Nancy, we're going to stay here forever. We're relying on teams elsewhere, and so far it's not really happening for us. So it matters just as much there as it does here, as we're being quite patient here. I'm already thinking about players that I would need to replace the players I've got. It's basically just improving upon the attributes and like the mental strength of some of our players. As that, I'll tell you what, we've worked it from the back. We've taken our time, and Ivanov sweeps it home. 14th of the season for him. He's been a revelation this season. Hopefully we'll have a really good year for me next year. I've got no intention of letting him go, of course. And yeah, low down this side. This is one man we are going to have to replace, and that's one of the biggest challenges going into next year. I just know it won't be Jamal Lewis. All right, now we've got the lead. Of course, we're looking elsewhere for something to happen. We've got a 20 goal difference, plus 20. And Nancy don't. Another goal. Lucas front post. Another header for us. 4th of the season. It's the Janchev-Lucas combination once again. And 3-1 now. There's been a goal at Guingamp. Oh, viewers. Maybe, just maybe. Janchev puts the ball in. And as that goal goes in, there's a goal elsewhere. Guingamp are giving us a chance, viewers. It's back to 2-1. That's where things matter. It's interesting seeing Lyon as well, not winning their game just yet. Another goal here by EA Sports Guingamp, and things are kicking off, viewers. 20 minutes to go. Our lead is pretty secure. 15 minutes to go, and my eyes are locked on it, viewers. I need something to happen there. Otherwise, none of this really matters. I'm going to demand more anyway. Bernard's struggling a little bit. I don't really need to take him off. Attacker's going to come on, though. We might as well make a switch. Why not? As is there going to be a late goal? A late goal will push us into 6th, into the Europa League. It doesn't look like it's happening, viewers, but there's still time. Lyon, by the way, have thrown the title away. Is there to be some late drama, viewers? Yes, there was! Oh my God, there was! They scored! There was some late drama! It was the 94th minute! Did you see it flick? I'm sure of it! I'm sure of it, viewers! There's no way! They did! They scored! Perrin scored! And with that, we qualified for the... Oh my viewers! What were the odds? They was ticking away. We've got to see it. We've got to see the goal. Perrin scores. He came off the bench on 75 and caught the... Viewers! Oh my God! It was just ticking away. I thought, oh man, we're just going to be in this Euro Cup 2. We're into the Europa League. Financially, that's such a big boost for Nice. This was the goal in the 94th minute that did it to the back post. It's a terrible header. It's a simple finish. And unbelievably, viewers, we qualified for the Europa League. Wow! What a moment that was just there. Unbelievable scenes. Goodness me. Football Manager does crazy things, crazy things, and I love being a part of it. Well, there we are then, gang. That's going to wrap up the season. We finished 6th. We qualified for the Europa League. Wow, the circumstances on that. We get £10 million as well. What a moment from Perrin. Thank you so much, my friend. I mean, sign him, yes, we will try. Wow, what a moment. 64 points though. Now, how does that compare to how they were last year? I've had such a great year, I feel like. 60 points they actually had last year. Goal difference much improved. So they actually didn't do too badly last year, really. 64 this year. And of course, next season, we'll try and press on. We only had 8 defeats all season with those 13 draws, more draws than anybody else. You turn 4 or 5 of those into wins. You add 10 points to your points total, and you're in the Champions League. And that's what we missed this season, and that's what we need to try and replicate and change for next year. Paris Saint-Germain will be coming for me, I suspect. They win the title. Again, their manager position probably safe. But it'll be interesting to see what happens behind them. What an end! Wow, if you enjoyed today's video, please do drop a like on it. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. My little face is loving it, and I'll see you again soon. We love with care. Goodbye. Unbelievable. Oh, also, before we go, I recently hit 80,000 subscribers on the channel, so thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for watching, and your support means everything. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.